Hi, I'm Mickey Zeta, and I'm going to talk tonight about emotional abuse. That is a topic that comes up all the time. You know, physical abuse is so easy to identify because we have bruises or we have marks on our skin or, even more serious things than that. But emotional abuse is it's insipid. It's insipid and it sneaks up on us and we don't even realize that we're being abused. So I've had a question a couple of times in the last several months. Well, he's not really doing anything. He's just not talking to me. He's just giving me the silent treatment. Is that abuse? Well, yes, that is abuse. When somebody won't speak with you, the tension builds up. Hi, Julie. Glad to have you here. The tension builds up, and sometimes I remember when that would go on for me, and sometimes Hi, Alyssa. Cool to have you here. We're talking about emotional abuse and the silent treatment. So there were times when my abuser would not talk to me for, the longest I remember is like 3 weeks. But you know what happens then? The tension builds and the tension builds and the tension builds. And pretty soon, you'll do just about anything to break that. I mean, I would just piss him off so that he would erupt and we'd be done with that because it's horrible. So yes, silent treatment is abuse. Even if it's only for a day, even if it's only for a part of a day, silent treatment is the worst. You're right, Alyssa, it's the worst. Emotional abuse is the worst. It's so much worse. Those of us who have experienced emotional abuse and physical abuse will agree that emotional abuse is much, much worse than physical abuse. And for me it is because it gets in your head. It stays there. Besides the silent treatment, my abuser, he was an outstanding emotional abuser. He would undermine anything I said, no matter what. And if I was really excited about something, he undermined it worse than anything. And I remember even when we first were married, he would say a couple of really nice things and then he'd say something really nasty. And I remember a few times he'd say something nice and I would almost beg him, please don't ruin this. Please don't ruin this. We were newlyweds. It wasn't supposed to be like that. I wasn't supposed to have to worry about him hurting me when he's supposed to be complimenting me. That is emotional abuse. I didn't recognize it at the time. And most people don't. Most people don't recognize emotional abuse at all. It just is kind of there. Emotional abuse was so much worse for me too, Alyssa says. Such a nasty person I dealt with. You know what? You have to be a nasty person to inflict emotional abuse on anybody. Physical abuse too, but emotional abuse, you have to be a really nasty person. And man, and you know what? They're skilled. They are so skilled. Those people who use emotional abuse against their spouses or their partners or their girlfriends, they are skilled people. And it's horrible. It's horrible. So I've given you a couple of examples. Silent treatment and ruining compliments, undermining good ideas. Those are all emotional abuse. And you've heard me say before, when you put a frog in hot water, if you put a frog in a pot of hot water, boiling water, it hops right out. Hops right out because it knows it's in trouble. But when you put a frog in a pot of cold water and you start heating it up, pretty soon that frog is cooked. And that's how emotional abuse is. It starts out kind of small. It starts out not that bad. And then before you know it, you're in the middle of it and you're thinking, what the heck happened? How did this water start boiling? How did I get to the point where I'm being totally controlled by this mean person, where I'm afraid to open my mouth, where I think twice about anything that I say? How did this happen? How did this happen? Well, it happens slowly and they're so good at it. People who are emotional abusers are so darn good at it. So Bonnie says it makes you shrivel up deep inside. It does. It makes you shrivel deep inside. It does. That's exactly right. You are a person who understands, Bonnie, and it's tragic. Emotional abuse is tragic. I have a list on my webpage. My webpage is survivingabusenetwork.com. And I created a list because I had so many people ask me, was I really abused? Was I really abused? He didn't hit me. Yeah, but did he let you go out with your friends? That's emotional abuse. Did he isolate you from your family? That's emotional abuse. Did he undermine you, make you quit college, make you quit jobs because he didn't like people you worked with or he didn't like the hours that you had to work? I sold real estate for a while and I had to quit because my ex-husband, my abuser, he was off on Mondays and he didn't like me to work on Mondays. Well, I sold real estate all weekend. Mondays is when things fell apart. I could not take calls. I could not do anything. He did not allow me. Now, if you ever hear yourself say, he won't let me, you are being emotionally abused. You are being abused. So accept that. Accept that that's the reality of it. If you ever feel like you can't do something because your spouse, your partner, your abuser won't let you, you're being emotionally abused. And you're also allowing it. So we have some responsibility there, but I'm not going to get into that. Alyssa, you are right. Well, thank you. Stories, stories tell. Stories let us know what's really going on. And I, for years, hid all this. I hid all this. Hi, Janine. Good to see you. I hid all this because I was still protecting my abuser. I didn't want to shine a bad light on him. Didn't matter what was happening to me. Didn't matter that I was being devastated. I was still protecting him because that's what we do. That's kind of how we're conditioned. We're taught. They teach us that everything that's wrong is our fault, right? That's emotional abuse. So any of these things I'm mentioning, know that those are emotional abuse, that you are, yes, you are being abused. So I'm starting to tell you on my webpage, survivingabusenetwork.com. If you will go there, and there's a checklist, and it's called Was I Really Abused? And I created it because so many people ask me, well, was I really abused? And a lot of it's about emotional abuse. Download that checklist. It's free. I ask for your webpage. I'm sorry. I ask for your email so that you can get it delivered. But also, it puts you on my list. And I haven't sent anything else out besides that. Eventually, I probably will. But anyway, get the list. There's like 31 or 32 things on there. Use a highlighter and highlight those things that you identify, things that happened to you, things that your abuser did to you. Highlight those things. And I starred some when I created the list. And pretty soon, I realized, man, I don't have any question. Yes, I was abused. We all walk away from abuse feeling guilty, like, what did we do wrong? Was this really our fault? Did I try hard enough? How about that? Did I try hard enough? Man, that was me. Or I'm committed to marriage. I don't want to walk out on this. I'm committed to marriage. Guess what? Two people have to be committed. If one person is emotionally abusing you, he is not or she is not committed to your relationship. You can't enter a relationship on a one-sided basis, and that's what happens with emotional abuse. Hi, Jan. Glad to have you here. Looks like you might have had trouble getting on, but I'm glad you're here. So go to my website, survivingabusenetwork.com. Download Was I Really Abused? Check off those things that apply, because emotional abuse is real. It's devastating, it's insipid, it sneaks up on us, and it's just as bad, if not worse, than physical abuse. So if you have lived in, or you have friends or family or coworkers who are living in abuse, emotional abuse, assure them that yes, they are abused. We can't encourage anybody to leave. We don't know what's going on in anybody else's life, so we can't make judgments. We can't do that kind of thing. But we can let people know that we support them, that we're there, that we understand. Sometimes all it takes is talking to somebody who understands. And frankly, if you haven't lived in abuse, you don't understand. You can be there, you can be supportive, you can ask questions, all that. But people who have left abuse need to talk to other abuse survivors, because there's just a level of understanding. It's like I used to be encouraged to be a health coach. And I said, I can't be a health coach, because what if I have a person who's suffering from breast cancer or some kind of cancer? I've never had cancer. So I don't feel like I can identify on that level. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with abuse. You can care, you can love, you can provide support, you can do all those things. But encourage your friends, your partners, your friends, your employees, or your coworkers, or your family members, whoever it is, encourage them to go to survivingabusenetwork.com. They can download podcasts. My podcasts pretty much lately are interviews with women who have lived in abuse, who have escaped, who've gotten out and have created amazing lives. There is hope, and that's the big thing. There is hope. So whatever you're living in, whether it's emotional or it's physical, it's real. And you don't have to live with that. You can get help, you can get out, and when you get out, you feel guilty. There's all those things going on, but it's okay. It's okay. You'll get through it. And find a group. Find groups of people. Surviving Abuse Network is a great one. But find a place that you can go to find other people that you can relate to. Share your experiences. Talk about it. You need to talk it, because you'll get validation. You'll find out that yes, silent treatment is abuse. Yes, undermining your ideas is abuse. Yes, being just being a jerk and treating you poorly. If you feel like you are being abused, guess what? You are. If you feel like that's the case, it's true. It's happening. I'm Mickey Zeta, and I'm so glad that you're joining me tonight. We've got a really nice group, and I'm so excited about that. I'm here in Connecticut, and I'm out in the backyard. Isn't it gorgeous? This is our backyard, and it's kind of cloudy. There was a sailboat race across the street in the Sound, so that was fun. You know what? No matter how bad things feel, find something that you can enjoy. Maybe it's a light, gentle rain. Maybe it's a sunrise or a sunset or a full moon or a dark moon or flowers or a bird or a hummingbird. Find something that will make you smile and that you'll say, you know what, yeah, right now my life is shit. Right now things don't feel good. I don't feel good. I don't even want to get out of bed. But find something that you can grab a hold of, because you know that bad feeling, that nasty stuff doesn't last forever. Not even when you're living in abuse. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And of course, my niche is women who have left. But I know that more and more women who are still living in abuse are paying attention to Surviving Abuse Network, and I need to address that. I need to talk to you folks too. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening, and I hope you're enjoying your summer. Tomorrow is the first day of summer. That's so much fun. So enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back on Sunday night, Wine with Mickey. I'll see you then. Thank you for being here. Please share this video and my webpage, survivingabusenetwork.com, with your friends and acquaintances and anybody that you think would benefit from the content that I create. It's all there just for us. It's there for we survivors of domestic abuse. There are millions and millions of us, and the more we support each other, the better life is. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and I'll be back on Sunday night.